So the total is 2 in favor, 10 opposed, and 7 without recommendation. The nomination is lost. Thank you very much.
Chairman, if I may.
So what you just saw there is the New York legislature, the Senate in particular, Judiciary Committee voting down the Judge LaSalle nomination that is coming from the judge. Now, first, let me put up her smug shot. So I just want you to remember who the Queen of Neoliberals, who she is. Yeah, that is none other than Governor Kathy Hochul. And she is pushing this judge as if her life depends on it. You know, some of my sources in New York tell me that she is taking this as an affront, that she is really using identity politics as a blunt force object, as in the men weren't treated this way. How dare you treat me this way because the men weren't treated this way. And she also sees it that if she does not get this judge nominated, that it may make her look weak. Judge Hochul, get a grip, baby. If the judge is not good, is not right, you got a whole bunch of groups that have come together in opposition of LaSalle, you might want to rethink your position. But please, don't cry, spare us the, oh, they're doing this to me because I'm a woman. They have laid out the facts. They are doing this to you because those particular groups, whether it is labor, even the NAACP, the members of the Senate Judiciary Committee have made it very clear, those members that voted down, that they don't see Judge LaSalle as the type of person they want to see there. That is their right to do that. It is, but you're forgetting something, that they are a co-equal branch of government, but you're trying to treat them as if they work for you. And I'm glad that they are not standing for it. Let's put up this headline: how one bad court pick in New York has turned into a national quagmire. Governor Kathy Hochul squandered an easy chance for a win. She had one job, just one job, and right now for that moment, and she's, it's not turning out too good for her. So on Wednesday, the New York Senate Judiciary Committee will speak to Hector LaSalle. So they already did that, and you saw the vote. And the governor, Kathy Hochul's nominee for chief judge of the Court of Appeals, which is the highest ranking position of the state's highest court. This reporting is coming from the Slate. They go on in this article. Normally, this would be a routine hearing. In other words, this is a natural process within the political dynamic for a governor to be able to nominate a judge. So normally, this would be a routine hearing. The committee cannot confirm LaSalle. The most it can do is advance him to a full Senate vote. The committee could also make the historic decision not to advance LaSalle, ending his candidacy, although that might only provoke Hochul to make the even more historic decision to sue. So the video, as you see, this has already happened. They voted down. In other words, we don't want to send it to the full Senate, and the governor is not happy about that. And what she may do is sue on the grounds that she has a right to send it to the full Senate. Now you follow me? I'm trying to dress you up on this. Send it to the full Senate. And if in fact it is sent to the full Senate, if she is successful in her lawsuit, as if she doesn't have other work to do, if she is successful in this lawsuit, really she would be leaning on Republicans to help her advance this judge. Either way, the Slate goes on, it's a hearing that will be closely watched by politicos across the country, and it was a strange turn of events for what is usually a minor bureaucratic half step with a foregone conclusion. In other words, that the governors are accustomed to getting what they want. The reason is that this judicial pick has in many ways become the first battle in a consequential, fast expanding war in Democratic politics, and Hochul has badly, and I agree with that, managed the process. Malaika, any analysis or any thoughts about what is happening in the great state of New York?
Well, I think for one, you talked about, or Slate talked about, politicos having their eyes on this, but a lot of voters will as well. As we learned and saw from the 2022 midterm elections, abortion rights was an energizing issue, and Hochul was struggling to get over the finish line. It's not like she won by a landslide with she didn't win by a landslide the first time. She was essentially appointed by default. after Cuomo's resignation. And so if you are kind of defying not even just the base, but you're defying what moderate voters are interested in, I would have some concerns about your political future. You know, you barely won in the one election where you were up to be elected by voters. Not only that, Roe versus Wade, the anniversary is coming up on Sunday. So it's kind of a slap in the face to not only the voters who were behind her, but the advocacy groups, the people who have been fighting for abortion rights for decades. And we've got the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade on Sunday. And then you present this pick. And then, you know, LaSalle, he's Latino. You've got Hakeem Jeffries that you're also touting out there, that you're putting to the forefront to protect something, which it's kind of like, is it ego? Like, what exactly is the reason for her being so stringent about this pick?
Yeah, Malaika, and a really good point. I like how you centered it back to the voters, because this is actually what this is about, the constituency and the Roe v. Wade. I mean, this judge certainly, by the measures of more progressive leaning folks and women's groups, I mean, a whole host of people who might not necessarily be considered progressive left leaning have gathered a coalition together to say, whether it's labor or women's reproductive health, that Judge LaSalle is not necessarily the judge that they want to see, and they have sounded the alarm. And she even took the opportunity on MLK Day, or during the MLK speech that she gave at a church, to not talk about the life and the legacy, or not to center the life and the legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Instead, she decided to center this Judge LaSalle and her desire to advance him. And so much so that she had police officers escort out an Afro-Latina activist that was standing up in her church to say a few words to the governor. She definitely weaponized the police in a way that they did not need to be weaponized.